Hi, I just want to touch on the subject of how to find brushes when you're going back to a piece that you haven't worked on for a while, or if, say, you're working on several different drawings all at the same time. If you're only working on one drawing, it's not too much of an issue because obviously you've got your recents folder, which will actually store the brushes you're using currently, up to about a dozen or so brushes. If you have some brushes that you use on a lot of drawings and you want to specifically keep, you can easily swipe to the left, click on pin, and it will put a little star by that, which means that it will never disappear. Even if you use lots of different brushes, those ones with the little star by, they will stay on your recents folder. The other ones, though, will disappear if you use a lot more brushes. So as you use a new brush, one of these will drop off the list, and so they'll just keep being replaced by whatever the brushes are that you used recently. In theory, that's fine if you're working on one piece. If you're working on lots of pieces, that might mean, particularly if you're a sort of artist that uses, say, a watercolour for one drawing and then you use more of a script for a font for another drawing, you may find that you use whole different batches of brushes, which would mean that these will disappear. So you need to try and find them again in other sets. If you've got a picture that you're going back to after a while, this can be a bit annoying because you may have forgotten exactly which brush you used to get a specific texture. That can be time consuming as well as annoying. The one way around that, which a lot of people I know use, is that they make a spare layer, and then within that spare layer, they may write on that the name of the pencils the brushes that they've been using. If in the case of something like soft brush, you would also need to write down the name of the brush set, because often you've got lots of brushes from different brush producers that are all called soft brush or something similar. So you need to put in all the details. Another way, which I find a bit simpler, because the brushes then will be found for you, I'll show you how I do it, is within your Procreate program, you have something called Quick Menu. Now, normally on Quick Menu, it comes up and it gives you the option. You can change it to various things like actual size or flip horizontally and things like that, different actions. If you go to the center button, it will let you add more quick menus. So you're not stuck with just the one. You can add I don't know how many the limit is. I've not got to the limit, so that's fine. Each one you can then name up with a rough approximation description of the picture that you want to stick it to. In this case, we're doing cheetah. And then on cheetah, I've given each pigeonhole a different brush type. So now when I go onto the cheetah one, I know exactly which brushes of these 6 that I'm using. So I can just use that, no problem at all. Click on Quick Menu and change it to another brush, and we've got the other brush there. So any of the ones that I might have used on this drawing, I can easily find just by clicking on them. If you want to create a new one, a new menu, just click on the plus sign and it will come up with a quick menu and then a number, dependent on how many other menus you have here, depends on that number. If you click and hold it and click and tap, the keyboard will come up and you can write a different title on there, a different name, and it will come up, and each one of these little pigeonholes then has got no action. So you can change the actions for whatever you want, and if it is brushes that you want to change it for, you scroll down until you get to select brush. Click on the little arrow, and you can go into the recent, which would be great if you've been working on a drawing, you just suddenly think, oh, I need to save all of these brushes. If you go into recent, you can then go down the brushes that you've got currently on your list of recent brushes and pick out the ones that you'd like to save. So it's easy. Click on it and it becomes round brush. Click on this one, go down to select brush, go into recent again, monoline, change that. That is the easy way of setting it up. If you change your mind and want to change it to a different brush, so say if I go down and scroll down and I go to this one and put on, for example, this one, so that's a sketch render, and I change my mind, you just click on it again and you can go and change it to a different brush. no trouble at all. You can go back here and go into a different set, so you don't have to worry about which set you're on. Just straight back to another set and change it, and it changes back to hard pencil. Once you've got your sets, if you think, no, that's enough, I don't need that one anymore, I can get rid of it, just swipe, delete it, and the whole set's gone. These sets you can then use on any picture. So like I've got here, I've got, if I wanted to suddenly start using these brushes, it's easy for me to start using these on my cheetah. I could use a totally different set of brushes. So if I'm happy with the set that I've got for, say, a lion, I could then use those brushes again to do a drawing of another big cat. If I'd got a set that I'd used for a certain rose, I can then use those drawings again for either another rose drawing or another flower drawing or something else that I think would be appropriate. Or I can use that set and edit it and call it a different name, set it up again for another flower or another drawing. So it's quite versatile. If you run out, you've only got 6. So if you run out and you think, oh, that's no good, I need more than 6. So here I've got sample. So if that was my main one, I can add another one. And I can put quick menu, and then, for example, I could call it either sample 2, if I could type, or I could put, say, background, or I could use it for part of a drawing. So if I wanted to put, say, oh, one sort of the creature is this, one, the flowers are all done in that, the leaves are all done in that, or the sky is all done in that, there's nothing to stop you having several different quick menus. Then you can use all of those for anything else you want to do. They don't disappear. They won't vanish as soon as you shut the keyboard down, or the program down. They are always there. As you can see, these ones here, some of these are quite old and they're just there. And I've used them a long time ago and I've just kept them because I think, oh, that'll be okay because I'll be using that one for something else. So it's no difficulty at all to do that. Click on them and then just put whatever you like. These ones here have already got select brush, because that's what I've used them for in the past and it's just come up with select brush. So again, that will go straight to the select brush section. It goes straight into the select brush section. So I just click on that and it will then let me go into any of my brush sets, of which there are rather a lot. So this saves me a lot of time. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, just drop them down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Okay, bye-bye.